Shubhrajyoti Barat, thank you so much for joining me on How I Made It.
Pleasure, sir. Pleasure talking to you, sir.
Well, Shubhra, I must ask you straight up, that has success or has recognition come late to you?
Well, I guess one needs to then define what success is and what recognition is. I've been doing theater for a very long time, and I was more or less recognized in the theater circles, but of course, it's not a generalized recognition. It's like a person working in a bank, and the bank colleagues know him, and the bankers know him. The people from his profession knows him, but the public does not know. So, yeah, from that point of view, I guess to a certain extent, recognition has come late to me because I joined this whole media, electronic media thing quite late in my life. I have been working for the last 3-4 years at the most. Not before that, I have done things very infrequently that also in a very reluctant way because some friend called me for something. So I went and done, but that was very infrequent. Whatever I have done in the last 3-4 years is me getting slightly on the ball and starting to look at it from a career point of view and doing it. So yeah, it's late. So I guess
Which
one
project
can say
would
that.
you term? Which project would you term as your game changer? The one which really brought you in the center, and people said, "Look, here is Shubhra."
Yeah, yeah, Vicky, I'm not really sure that it has brought me to the center. The center is still slightly
See,
away,
now
a
people
little
now
beyond.
people know you. Let me tell you very frankly, people know you.
Okay,
But where did you
okay,
feel
thank
that
you.
the phone started
Uh,
ringing, the compliments started
Yeah,
coming, the offers started coming?
yeah, yeah. Without a doubt, that happened after Mirzapur. People started recognizing me on the road. People tried to take selfies with me, which is
That's
very
exactly what I
embarrassing
was
at this
saying.
stage. Yeah, so all those things started happening, and of course work offers also started coming in. This kind of success is always matlab, this is a gripe, and I'm not really a young man, so people of my age always have a gripe as well. So my gripe with the whole thing is that I did not realize that doing a role well would mean that you will be offered the same roles again and again, or similar roles again and again. So I'm trying very hard to come out of rural Hindi belt uh, in the choice of my characters. Partly successful, but still some distance to go in that regard.
So everybody is out to give you another Mirzapur.
Yeah, that I guess happens because people are very wary in this industry. That is what I've come to realize here, that people are very wary of uh, failures. They are always afraid that they want something in terms of actors, in terms of every other department also, that which has been tested, which is already proven. They don't want to, there is a certain wariness in terms of trying out new things. I'm
But
sure that there are people
ये
who are
तो
doing that.
सरप्राइजिंग बात बता रहे हैं आप, बिकॉज रिसेंटली कहा जा
जी,
रहा है कि वेब शोज आने के बाद
हम्म,
लोगों को तरह तरह के रोल मिल रहे हैं,
हाँ, हाँ, हाँ।
और आप कह रहे
नहीं,
हैं
मुझे ये
कि
लगता
वो
है कि
अभी भी डर रहे हैं, सेम देना चाह रहे हैं, जो
हाँ,
सक्सेसफुल
हाँ,
हो गया वो उसको एक
हाँ,
छाप पड़ गई।
जी,
दैट्स
जी,
व्हाट यू आर सेइंग।
जी, 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 मुझे ये लगता है कि जैसे वेब शोज में ये जरूर हुआ है कि because the subjects have changed from, say, television serials or from the mainstream movies, there are it has thrown up a lot of interesting actors, जिनको ये जरूर हुआ है। और वेब शोज, मिर्जापुरी वेब शो है, अगर अगर मैं कहाँ होता, अगर मिर्जापुर अगर नहीं आता तो उस तरीके से तो ये बात बिल्कुल सच है। बट एट द सेम टाइम इट इज ऑल्सो ट्रू that as human beings, and not at the risk of sounding boastful, I must say that I have been in the creative field for quite a long time, be it theater or other media.
You have been a
Uh,
fantastic writer.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. But human beings are prone to patterns, and we sort of fall into patterns. Like, for example, in terms of web shows, I don't know whether this is politically correct to say or not, but I'll say it anyways. Uh, there are web shows about youngsters where there are two kinds of dads. Either he's a goofy dad or he's a cool dad. So there is a pattern which is followed again. If it is a rural story, then there will be a strict dad who's slightly, villainish almost. So there are patterns which get set inadvertently. It's not that somebody is trying to set patterns, but I think it is very important in terms of casting people also to break that pattern. Of
So,
course, myself
so
selfish.
Shubhra, what you're
Yes,
saying
yes,
is
sir.
that टीवी से हटकर कंटेंट बन रहा है, that's for sure,
जी, जी,
as far as web
जी,
shows are concerned. But web
जी,
shows के
जी,
within
सर,
अभी भी अंदर की बात ये है कि
जी,
लोग इतना एक्सपेरिमेंट, इतना गैम्बल नहीं करना चाह रहे हैं जितना कि हमें दिख रहा है और जितना कि हमें कहा जा रहा है.
हाँ, मतलब मुझे लगता है कहानियां अलग अलग आ रही हैं, बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग कहानियां आ रही हैं. लेकिन कास्टिंग के लेवल पे और उसके लेवल पे अभी भी थोड़ा सा वेरीनेस तो है, इसमें कोई डाउट नहीं
Follow
है.
up question is now, Shubhra, that how many roles did you refuse which was similar to Mirzapur?
Sir, I have, in all humility, sir, I have lost count the number. But this is what I tell all
Five,
the people who offer.
5,
More than that, sir. More than
10?
that. Much more than that. More than that, sir. And it's a risk that I take. I choose to take because I have told this to some of the
No,
people who
because
have
so far
offered.
I have made out very clearly from this little
Yeah,
conversation which we have had until now
yeah,
that you are not here just for the heck of it or to make a quick buck. So what if I started late?
no,
चलो फटाफट ये कर लेते
uh,
हैं, खत्म कर लेते हैं.
no, sir, no, sir, no, sir. I can't bring myself to do that. I will only be able to do something which sort of challenges me in my craft. I won't be able to do something just for the heck of it. There are other reasons why you pick up a role. For example, it might be a friend who's making something and you want to do it because it's a friend and you get to work with a friend, and that's a different high altogether to work with a friend. I collaborate with a friend, and you might take up a role and not bother about the role so much. That might happen. But as far as the craft is concerned, I believe that I need to sort of find something which is slightly beyond my fingers, and I have to stretch out a little bit to touch it all the time. That will make me grow a little bit, sir, whatever for whatever it is worth.
Shubhra, how many
you
roles
know
have you lost after being finalized? कि हाँ आप कर रहे हैं और लास्ट मिनट पे आपको कहा गया नहीं, आपसे कोई ज्यादा एस्टैब्लिश्ड एक्टर आपकी जगह पर लिया गया.
ऐसा कम हुआ है सर मेरे साथ, थैंकफुली. लेकिन एक दो बार हुआ है. ऐसा तो होता ही है, मतलब. And I think it is fair to a certain extent, because ultimately people have other considerations in terms of their practical considerations, in terms of paisa, in terms of commercials, returns and stuff like that. They have business considerations which are beyond me. मतलब मेरे दिमाग से वो मेरा दिमाग उस तरीके से चलता नहीं है. My mind does not function that way. So who am I to judge if somebody is replacing me for somebody else who's perceived to be more saleable? अगर ऐसा हो रहा है तो मैं किसको जज नहीं करता, लेकिन ऐसा थैंकफुली अभी तक मेरे साथ कम हुआ है, बहुत कम हुआ है.
So you are so much into web shows now, of course in movies too. Tell me, are you comfortable using cuss words on screen?
Yeah, I don't think. See, the thing is that as far as cuss words are concerned, I think it is a cultural thing. What you consider cuss words, or it's a very urban middle class sentiment that these are cuss words or these are so-called bad words, because there are cultures, there are communities where cuss words are used like punctuations in our country. There are rural communities where our folk theater is full of, so what exactly is, but yeah, just to, I would rather not use it uh, for sensation, for creating, and it's, if somebody's selling cuss words, then that's obviously problematic.
Would you do a scene
Yeah,
like Kulbhushan Kharbanda did with Rasika Duggal
yeah,
and Mirzapur?
yeah. I think Kulbhushan ji and Rasika's scene actually was a major turning point in the story. It was a major reveal in the story. And if it is that, then I'll do a scene like that. Whether it is perceived to be objectionable or not, it doesn't matter really. It's a scene which is required for the story, and if it is required for the story, there's no problem with doing it. What's the problem?
So movies or web shows? Giving a choice. आपको दोनों ऑफर आए हैं और दोनों एक ही डेट पे स्टार्ट हो रहे हैं. दोनों में रोल अच्छा है, दोनों के डायरेक्टर्स भी अच्छे.
मूवीज ऑफ कोर्स सर. मूवीज का जो व्याप्ति है ना, वो थोड़ा सा ज्यादा बड़ा होता है. अभी भी वेब शोज हैव नॉट रीच्ड दैट पॉइंट. एंड ऑल्सो प्रैक्टिकल भी ये है कि आपका टाइम कमिटमेंट जो है ना मूवी में, एक सर्टेन टाइम तक का होता है. तो उसमें एक फायदा ये होता है कि यू हैव टू स्टे विद द कैरेक्टर फॉर अ स्पेसिफिक पीरियड ऑफ टाइम. तो आपके पास एक जो है ना, उसकी आप दिमाग में एक you can create a certain timeline in your mind in terms of preparing for the character, executing the character, and then coming out of it. This might sound high sounding, but this is how we have worked always in theatre, sir. And nowadays I see that in media, suddenly in electronic media, this has become a new in thing. But this is we have learned doing characters like that you get into a character. There's a process of getting into a character, executing the character, and then you take a little time to get out of the character as well. In a movie, the advantage is that you can do it. This whole graph can be achieved within a certain specific period of time. In web shows, what happens is that sometimes it might become very protracted. It can go on for too long a time, and then also you are shooting infrequently. It's not that you're shooting every day of the month. You're shooting maybe for 3 days this month and 5 days that month. So again, to get back to it might become a problem. तो वो इस वजह से मूवीज प्रेफरेबल है, लेकिन वेब शोज बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग हो रहे हैं, और इंटरेस्टिंग रोल मिले तो क्यों नहीं सर.
So which is the movie which you have enjoyed the most?
Article 15 I have enjoyed doing, because not only because of the role and the story and everything, but what went on behind the scenes. I think Anubhav Sinha is one of the most interesting person to work with. Not only his directorial abilities, which are undoubtedly great, but his leadership quality, his ability to drag a team together, to make everybody cohesive, and it was a great working experience for me to work with Anubhav Sinha. And then there were friends. Kumud is a very close friend. We have right from my theatre days, so he was there. So Pawa sir, again a very sweet man. Ashish Verma became a friend there. So, a bunch of people whom you're Sushil Pandey. So I really like it.
Importantly, Shubhra, I must say that we want to see you in a lot more projects, and we wish you all the best for all your future endeavors. Keep the good work going.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you
so much for joining me at ETimes.
Thank you. Pleasure, sir. Pleasure. Thank you.